Lethal Company. Lethal Company is a game that has quickly taken over the internet just the last month. It's a co-op horror game made by Zeekers. It takes place in a post-apocalypse era. You with your friends are a contracted worker to work for a company named The Company. Your job is to collect scrap from abandoned industrialized moons and sell it back to the company. You use the cash you earn to travel to new moons to get rewards. New drip for the ship, but along the way you encounter traps, hazards, and monsters. So let me waste your time by giving you useless information about Lethal Company. Sigurd. Sigurd was a previous employee. He basically wrote a bunch of diary logs about his experience working at the company. These entries can be found around the various maps and are available on the terminal by typing the code Sigurd. August 22nd, 1968, he introduced himself and his buddies Richard, Desmond, and Jess. August 24th, 1968, Sigurd complained about his soup being uncomfortable. August 27th, 1968, Rich is saying the ship smells bad, like a rancid tuna can. A shovel is needed for bashing anything that moves, and someone is put on camera duty. And that day, they sold some goods to the company at 70% value. August. Sigurd talked to a voice on the walkie-talkie, and he was told that the golden planet existed. The planet was swallowed up by the beast, Jess says. The golden planet is just a story. August 31st, Sigurd gets camera duty. September 4th, Sigurd was awoken early because he has to sell some of his good. The rate was 120%. September 7th, Rich went missing. Sigurd went looking for him, but all he found was the flower man. Although Rich was nowhere to be found, Sigurd was dedicated, but his crewmates shown otherwise. They got a pair of scissors, a box full of stamps, and a bundle of cords, but they ended up not being able to sell any of it. September 13th, Sigurd called the company to report the incident, and the voice said that it would contact the family and find a replacement. Sigurd wants to quit his job, but he can't because he's not a coward. September 27th, the new crewmate is named Lucas, and he's so confused and scared all the time. Desmond finds out that there's a group of people somewhere else that pretends to call the crewmates from the company building across the whole solar system. September 30th, Sigurd is having bad dreams about the company and is starting to lose his memories. He just remembers the little things, like taking the shuttle flight to the building and signing the contracts. October 15th, Sigurd is keeping the logs hidden by encrypting them. He fears that the system will wipe them all if found. The apparatus is a scrap that can be found in a special room within the facility, plunged into a large machine providing power to the complex. The inverse teleporter, a ship equipment. You could press the green button to activate the teleporter. The teleporter is random as it can teleport you in front of a turret, landmine, or a monster. The jack-o'-lantern could be interacted with. It giggles in a deep voice. If you fly underwater with a jetpack, the electricity will kill you. The jetpack also bugs out constantly. The lockpicker does not work on security doors, and also the lockpicker weighs 16 pounds compared to a key that weighs 0 pounds. The flashlight lasts approximately 140 seconds before needing to be recharged, but the Pro flashlight, way better than the regular flashlight, has a longer range, is much brighter, and lasts 4.5 minutes. The TZP inhalant decreases your stamina, but increases your speed boost by a little bit. Regular stamina is 9 to 10 seconds, but with the inhalant, you could increase it to 24 to 25 seconds. After using the inhalant, your voice will become high-pitched to other players. The inhalant is a combination of amphetamines and helium. The stun grenade cannot affect circus bees, hygrodares, and earth leviathans. You can use the boombox to distract enemies for an infinite amount of time. The manticores are cute little birdies. They pose no harm to the player. This is a hoarding bug. They can easily be killed, but if you steal their resources, this will anger the hoarding bug until you get their shit back. The hygrodeers grow bigger over time and split in two if they're hit with a shovel or a stop sign. They can squeeze through under the doors except sealable doors. Bunker spiders. They're just the average spiders in Australia. A bunker spider will start hunting down the player if their webs have been touched. The spiders aren't really that fast since walking speed is just enough to keep distance. Circus bees are entities. Circus bees cannot go through doors. Shovels do not work on the bees. Earth leviathans are basically worms. The leviathans devour everything within reach. Before they attack, they growl and can be tricked into eating forest keepers. Baboon hawks will only attack players when they're equal or outnumber the player. Baboon hawks will hesitate in attacking players if they shout with their microphones. Snare flea. Snare fleas are usually found on the ceiling, so heads up. The zap gun can be used to knock a flea off a coworker's head. Bracken, also known as the flower man, they will attack you if stared at for 4 to 5 seconds. The flower men usually take 5 to 6 hits to go down. When killed by a flower man, he will drag the corpse into his favorite location, and this can be any room. And after that, the creature will stray away from that area. Flower man will stalk players making no noise besides a soft laughter. Once angered, the flower man will chase you down and try to snap your neck or attack the player until you're captured. Coilhead, an extremely dangerous entity. A coilhead will not attack the player if eyes are not averted, even if you touch it. Stun grenades can bring a coilhead down temporarily, but they're not affected by shovels or stop signs. When a player is killed by the coilhead, they are discovered with their heads decapitated, replaced by a coil, and their hands also missing. Standing on any elevated surface, like a railing, will make you safe from the coil heads. Coil heads can sometimes clip through secure doors, and they cannot be killed by mines. The eyeless dog, a cute dog breed in Lethal Company. They're blind, so avoid speaking at all costs because they can hear your microphone. Crouch instead of walking because it suppresses the noise. And do not turn on and off your walkie-talkie or use a boombox. The store delivery rockets, air horns, clown horns, or hair dryers. Scrap items like old phones, remotes, robot toys, rubber duckies, and teeth also make loud noises. High elevated surfaces can be used to avoid the eyeless dogs. Forest keepers, also known as the giants, they're kind of dumb, but they make up for that by being extremely strong and having good eyesight. The players can enter the ship or the facility to avoid the forest keepers since they're too big. You could temporarily disable them using the zap or stun gun. The forest keepers can also be eaten by other enemies such as the earth leviathans. Sometimes the forest keeper will eat a single player but follow other players instead of eating them. It is unknown if this is a bug or not. It was thought that the laser pointer could be used to distract the forest keeper, but that was wrong. Jester. They're just a jack-in-a-box with legs. It leisurely approaches players, completely harmless. It locks onto a location of a random employee, very persistent. It never goes away. The jester starts to wind up its box. After it's finished winding up, a skull pops out, running at full speed at its targeted player, instantly killing the player in one hit. Kind of like a next bot on Gmod. The jester will go back into his box once all living players have exited the building. A jester's windup can be stopped for 20 seconds by using the stun gun. The jester's speed is based on the distance between it and the player it has picked to hunt. The farther the distance, the faster it becomes. Jesters are mostly common in manors, but they could spawn in bunkers too. Thumpers are these things, also known as the halves. Their hearing is bad, but they make up for it with good eyesight. Thumpers will make a roaring sound when they have spotted a player. In long, straight corridors, they will quickly reach speeds that the players cannot outrun. Since the thumper relies mainly on sight to capture, players must make sure to break line of sight quickly as possible by rounding a corner or something. Just stay out of the thumper's line of sight. You could kill a thumper in 4 to 6 hits using a shovel. So just stand on a railing and bludgeon the thumper to death. Ghost Girl. She haunts one player one at a time before killing them. Ways to know you're being haunted by the Ghost Girl is lights or terminal flickering. You hear giggling or breathing, or a female voice saying. Being haunted by the Ghost Girl can temporarily cause her to disappear, and only the affected players can see the Ghost Girl. But on the ship's CCTV, you could be able to spot her and help the affected crewmate. Zapping or hitting the Ghost Girl with any object does not affect her. She is the rarest entity in the game. There is a possibility that the Ghost Girl is based on Alma Wade from the Fear series. Jeb. He is the company representative that players sell scrap to. If a player rings the bell too much, Jeb will grab them and absolutely destroy them. Jeb can attack the player if there's too much noise other than the bell, like the horns or toys. It's impossible to avoid being attacked by Jeb by crouching at the slot. Sigurd believed that the entire point of the company was simply to feed Jeb scrap after it was trapped inside the concrete building. The Nutcracker. The Nutcracker is an entity that is a giant Nutcracker toy. They are very hostile. The Nutcracker shoots the player with their double-barrel shotgun, and their melee is just kicking you in the balls. really putting in the Nutcracker in Nutcracker. The mask can be found inside, cosplaying as regular Scrap, but employees who wear the mask will become possessed by it and will hunt down other employees to possess them as well. They exclusively spawn on Ren and Titan. Masked are unaffected by spray paint. The game code of the entity is called Masked Player, and the mask kind of looks like SCP-035. If the planet is eclipsed, and the Isla's dog is nearby, it will hear it and attack it until it's destroyed. When destroyed, it will explode, killing anyone nearby. If players stand underneath the rocket, it will crush the player. The tune played by the rocket is the first verse of Turkey in the Straw. When it rains, dark patches of quicksand is made on the ground, so make sure you're fast enough to walk out of the quicksand. It gets stormy sometimes, so when transporting metal objects, they might begin to spark, and this means that it's about to get struck by lightning. Fogs. There are 3 types of fogs: light, heavy, and stink cloud. Light fog is okay, you should still be able to see in front of you. Heavy fog, though, it's very challenging to see anything and navigate, so you better listen closely and be aware of your surroundings. Flood. When the moon begins to flood, it makes it impossible to navigate through. Flooding is based on the time of day and will progress as time goes on. Maximum flood time is approximately 5 p.m. Stink cloud is made when the forest keeper has eaten a player. If a player is caught in a stink cloud, this will cause them to cough and quickly lose stamina. On Vow, the rickety bridge can carry 1 to 2 people at a time, depending on weight. There's barely any cover on March, so the forest keeper can track a player down rather easily. If a turret is hit by a shovel or a stop sign, it will start shooting in a circle. Turrets can also be disabled temporarily by typing in their code into the terminal. Landmines can also be temporarily disabled by typing their code into the terminal. So, in conclusion, Lethal Company is a good game. Go play it. And if you enjoyed this video, follow me and hit that subscribe button.